Hello. I have a special friend who is a follower, and he has asked me to make a squash casserole. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to do a request today for a southern squash casserole. So I have yellow squash. When you buy your squash, try to get the smaller ones and the smooth skin. If you get them too big, they're going to be tough. So I've scrubbed them, and what I'm going to do is just cut them up, just in rounds. They don't have to be real even. Just slice them up. And if you don't, just don't get them too big. That's the thing. That means they're older. They're going to be tough. The skin's going to be tough. These are just excellent. They're soft and tender. Okay, so we've got our squash all cut up, and what we're going to do now is we have a skillet, and you're just going to dump your squash right in the skillet. Okay, and that's a lot, but they're going to cook down. And we're going to add 1 yellow onion that's just been chopped up to our skillet. We're going to put a little bit of water, not a lot, just maybe half a cup. And we're going to put this on the stove and just steam the squash. We're not going to boil it or cook it. We're just going to steam it. So let's get that done, and I'll be back. Okay, our squash are done. I covered these with a lid, and it took about 25 minutes, I guess, to get them soft. I put, like I told you, a half a cup of water, but they're going to release a lot of water. So you need to put them in your little strainer, your little colander. They're just steamed. They're just steamed until they're nice and soft. Now, like I said, they're going to release a lot of water. But you want to get all the water out. Nothing's worse than a watery casserole. So take your potato masher and just kind of mash them down. You'll be amazed at how much water still comes out of them after you've drained them. You'll kind of break them up a little bit, but that's okay. This is my go-to squash casserole recipe, and there's all kinds of room to customize this to your own taste. Got an end piece in there. So I'm going to tell you how to do that as we go along. This is what I'm making today, but I've made it so many different ways, and it's always delicious. It's very simple. That's the hardest part right there, just doing your squash. So let me get these in a bowl, and I'll be right back. All right, so here's our squash and onions. They've been drained and kind of smushed down a little bit. And to this, we're going to add a can of cream of mushroom soup. Now, if you don't want to add cream of mushroom, you don't like it, whatever the reason, you can use cream of celery. You can use cream of chicken. You can also use half sour cream and half mayonnaise. I don't think I would use all mayonnaise because it would just be a little bit cloying, I think. That's just my opinion. But the sour cream would add a real rich texture to it. Mix it with a little bit of mayonnaise. So that's an option. I'm also going to add a can of mushroom bits and pieces. You don't have to do this. Totally your choice. I'm going to drain these. Put those in there. Again, your choice. Now, sometimes I have seen people add an egg. I don't think it's necessary, and I just don't care for the texture of that the egg puts in there. So you're going to mix this up real good. And we're going to add an 8-ounce block of sharp cheddar cheese that I just grated up. And again, customized to your taste. You can use Swiss cheese. You can use, this is sharp cheddar. You can use mild cheddar, you can use Swiss, you can use pepper jack, you can use the one of the little bags of the Mexican blend cheese. Any of those would be great. I've used, instead of mushroom soup, I have used sour cream before and Swiss cheese, and that's really good. But you got your basic start with the squash and the onions. So once you have that, you can work off of it as much as you want, any way you want. This is some black pepper. I'm not going to put any salt in it because we're going to top it with some crumbs, and they're salty, and the soup is very salty. If you're not using soup, you'll probably want to add some salt. Okay, that's all mixed up. The cheese is getting melty in there with the hot squash. And let's move on to the next step. So I've got my pan. And I've got 1 stick of melted butter. And I'm just going to put a little bit in there and coat my pan. Okay, and then you're going to just put your squash right in your casserole. When you bake this, you can use any kind of casserole that it'll fit in, whatever you want. I like to use a wide, flat one because you get more room for the topping. And the topping really adds a lot to it. Okay. And here you go with another way to make it yours. I have 1 sleeve of Ritz crackers. You can use Ritz, you can use club crackers, you can even use saltine crackers. You can also use cheese crackers. That would give it some extra cheese flavor if you want that. I like Ritz, but totally another way to customize. So you're going to take the rest of your stick of butter and pour it over your cracker crumbs. And just mix that all up till all the cracker crumbs are moist. I'm sure you've all done this 1,000 times with the crumbs. once all that butter's incorporated, you just sprinkle it over your casserole. And like I said, that was 1 whole sleeve of Ritz, crushed up. And there you have that. So the next step, we're going to put this into a 350 degree oven for probably 30 minutes, just till the topping gets crispy and you'll see bubbles coming up. So when we get to that point, I'll be back. Here's our finished casserole out of the oven. It's all hot and bubbly. Let's dish this up some and see what it's like. Oh yeah, that's gonna be so good. So it stayed in the oven about 40 minutes at 350. So if you were cooking something that needed to be at 375, we could go in there at the same temperature. I was also gonna say, this casserole can be made with zucchini as well as yellow summer squash. I think if you were going to do it with zucchini, if you would use a cream of chicken soup rather than the cream of mushroom and maybe some pepper jack or Swiss cheese, that would be great. I think that would be a really good dish. But this is just your basic Southern squash casserole. You can make it however you want it, make it to your taste, your family's taste. But this, again, is my go-to recipe for squash. So I hope you enjoy this. If you make it, let me know in the comments, please, how you like it. And I hope this is a good recipe for my person that requested it. I hope he enjoys it. So we'll talk soon. Bye-bye.